I felt inspired and compelled to make this live video. I'm driving home right now. I'm on the Blue Parkway, which is one of my favorite places to be because it's just water all around and it's gorgeous out today and beautiful sights. But the real point of this video is to stop hating on yourself for who you are. And one of the things I wanted to come in here and share is something that has been nagging at me for a couple of years now. I was, an active litigator for 7 years. I worked at ACS. I worked for Children's Services. Oh, perfect. Looks like I'm being stopped at a drawbridge, which is actually perfect for the point of this video because now I can focus on you. I was an active litigator for 7 years, and that particular system, working with for the right of safety of abused and neglected children, is something that wore me down. A lot of things about it wore me down. And I really had felt like I was getting further and further away from who I was at my core, in terms of the work I was doing, in terms of the choices I was making, and I really was in a bad place personally. And I ran from that place. And because I started feeling better doing health and fitness, which is something I never thought I'd say, but that's where I was. I lost 50 pounds. I felt amazing. I started moving forward with my own journey. I started inspiring others, and I realized I could make a business out of this, and I did. I still am. I love it. And that is a huge passion of mine. What I've learned throughout this journey is that you don't have to be one thing. Yes, I ran screaming from litigation because of the way it made me feel at the end of the day from working in that place, dealing with the things I was dealing with for so long. It wasn't working out for me, and I sort of had this, almost post-traumatic stress disorder reaction to it, in that, I pulled out a calendar later that year that I had from my job, thinking I just could use it for the rest of the year, and I saw cases that I would have had coming up had I stayed, and I freaked out and closed it, and I almost had an anxiety attack. So I couldn't think about it for a while. I had to take a step back. So I totally jumped ship too soon. I had not built up my business enough to be able to leave my job and earn the income that I was making. But I also knew at the same time that I had to leave because it was destroying me personally. So it was the right decision. It just made it a little rough. So when my insurance ran out, because I was running my own business, that's all I was doing, and I had some health insurance left from my previous job, I knew I had to do something. My girlfriend, who also decided to chase her dreams that same year, go back to school, was under my health insurance, so now I had to find health insurance for the both of us. So I started working at Starbucks, which is a great place to work. They give you health insurance for working part-time. It was in my community. It was very reconnecting. I learned a lot of great things there. And I was there for about a year, and I put in my notice. This week is my last week there. Because during this entire process, I learned that I didn't have to stop being a lawyer. That I did, just because I left that job behind to do something else doesn't mean that I was a failure for leaving that or for going back to it. Because at the end of the day, I am so many things. We all are so many things, and you don't have to choose one. You can be all of the things that you are in the way that it serves you best. Is it going to serve me best to be a full-time lawyer working for a firm or a government agency? Hell no. It's not going to serve anybody best, because I'm a horrible person when I am working for somebody else 100% of the time, dealing with their deadlines, their issues, working under the restraints and policies that they have, making them money, working for their retirement, not working for myself. And the biggest lesson I learned is that it's not being a lawyer. It's not being a lawyer. It's not working for Starbucks. It's not being a health and fitness coach. None of these things are bad. Or none of these things are things I don't want to do or I can't do well or that I won't enjoy doing. What I've learned for myself is that I don't want to work for anybody else. And that's the lesson I learned. So I can still be a lawyer. I can still be a lawyer. I can still be a health and fitness coach. I can have my own business. Hell, I can have two of my own businesses, and that's what I'm doing. So long story short, really take it seriously. And you gotta get over that, because I don't care what anybody says to me. I'm talking about all this here live on Facebook. And I just wanted to share all of this because this is something that's weighing heavy on my heart. I was embarrassed to say that, I left my job, and that, maybe people would think that my business wasn't doing well enough that I had to go back to Starbucks to work. When really, I should have been proud of myself for doing what I had to do to make sure that my family had health insurance while we were building our dreams. And I am proud of that, and I was proud of that, but I was so afraid of what everybody would think. And, that I'm going back to doing some lawyering, like, oh, people are going to think that my health and fitness business is a failure, and oh my God, like, I think I've failed myself, and I haven't. I've actually grown. I have grown so much that I have learned how to be able to juggle two businesses, how to do two things that I love on my own terms, in my own time, for myself, chasing my dreams. And I get to do it with passion. I get to do it with love. I get to do it by my own sets of rules, not by anybody else's. And it is just such a beautiful thing. And I wanted to share that with all of you because, God, it was scary. It was scary being under the weight of all of those fears. And, I am always talking about being fearless. So, fearless, here I go. So that's it. I wanted to share that with all of you. Stop being afraid of who you are. Stop holding back who you are. And stop limiting yourself. Because the possibilities are endless. You just have to be open to them. And you have to believe in them. And you have to believe that you can do it. And you can. I'm making it work. Here I am. I'm still walking. I'm still eating. I'm still living. And I'm still fit. So, it's working. So, and this isn't to say my life is so great. This is to say you can do it too. If I can do it, anybody can do it. I'm the opposite of type A. I'm totally disorganized. I barely have my shit together. I feel like I'm juggling so many things at once sometimes that I don't know what I'm doing. But I get it done. And I'm parsing out the things that are important, and I'm leaving behind the things that aren't, and I'm moving forward. So, that's my message to you for today. And I hope you're having a fantastic day. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous Wednesday. Happy summer. Summer makes me feel so alive. And that's it. Me to you. Love you. Bye.